play with me on his back. So today, we'll get a little bit to play about. Kind of get it. What we want to do there is, like, a lot of people wait for that point. Now, he's comfortable with us. We've been up here a couple of days. Mm-hmm. Now he's just playing. We don't have anything scared anymore. So now we have to find a way to discipline him and still get something done. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we introduced that exercise. If you notice, I did it the first day I got on it. And then today, I would kiss and send him on. Well, now, what I'm able to do is, I kind of work on 3 or 4 different things at once. I got him used to my leg, and there's a purpose behind my leg. When I kicked it, it wasn't just, most people, he kicks and then they kick, and then he kicks and they kick, which you could get caught in that deadlock, and he wasn't sure what you meant anyways. Whereas we had already set up that exercise, so he knows he's got to get out of it. Now, if he doesn't set up his turn, in that leg, I kiss, and that leg causes him to get through that turn a little quicker. So, there's the difference to me in discipline and punishment. I never punished him for anything that he did. It was just discipline. I kissed, he didn't work quite as fast as I wanted him to get through there, or as fast as I knew he could, so then I could give a boot. Now there's a reason for it, instead of just because I'm a mean guy. And in the meanwhile, he's getting used to my leg, where you can see now every time I put that leg on him, it's had the opposite effect. Instead of him getting scared and excited and kicking up at it, now he's kind of, whenever he feels that leg on him, he's going, I know that means something. He may not be sure what it is, but he's now pausing.
He's listening to you.
And trying to figure out. Whereas just a second ago, it was all playtime. You know, he's like, oh, he's on my back again. Good, because I wanted to kick up and have fun anyway. So the key to it is that we gave him a reason why we were doing those things. None of it was unfair at all. And that, heck, it's not ever getting mad at him because he plays. That's part of it. He plays a little bit, so what? I play too. You know, we can't get mad at him for that. But we're going to discipline him for it in a way that he's going to understand it, so that at the end of the ride, you know, not only do we have a ton more control in how light he wants to be, but we've got a ton more control, and he's paying attention to us, and he's relaxed. So we got, I mean, so much accomplished in a couple, 3 minutes, you know, and none of it, the great thing about this is none of it was, it never got where he didn't understand any of it. You know, we had set it up. I did it before I got on his back, and I did it yesterday and the day before and the day before that. So he's getting it versus being confused the whole time that he's in here,
right,
and trying to punish him because he kicked up a little bit. You know, that's silly to me. It's not, and it's not right for him or for me, really.
yeah.
So.
Now, we were expecting him to kick it up a little bit, because he always has. He's
Right.
been very playful all his life, so.
Right. And that little bit right there, I mean, heck, there's nobody could stay on that. So the reason that I did it now is, now it gives me an opportunity, while I'm in this round pen and I've got way more control, gives me an opportunity to help him understand that that's not what we're looking for.
Right.
Without ever, you know, it never scared him. He never once got nervous or upset. But when he did it, it's like I told you the very first day, we want to take him to a point where it's challenging, but not where he doesn't get it or doesn't understand it. So we were able to do that today, and I knew today he was going to give it to me because I knew what kind of ride we had yesterday. So I just knew it was only a matter of time before he understood enough that I could go ahead and get something accomplished. And like I said, the great thing to me is we worked on his turns, we worked on his stop, we worked on his giving when I kissed, we worked on all sorts of stuff, and without him ever getting nervous or excited or upset. Good job, little boy. That's the hardest ride he's had, obviously.
Yeah, he's still thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just him. It's not anything that we're, but little by little we'll replace that feeling of playfulness with a feeling of going, kind of sort of going to work. So
Right.
We want his job to be fun, but not that much fun. There's a difference between, just like there's a difference between recess and, you know, he's going to have time to get out and kick up his heels when he's out in the field. Right now, we're going to want him to just kind of relax, and like I said, he's still playful, though it's not like we just kind of put it in a different spot. And then if like that gets to be an issue where he wants to play and throw his head up and stuff, I'll just spit him back in a stall sometime for a little while I'm riding another one. And then again, we want to work on things that we can help and fix. Well, there's nothing I'm going to do right there that's going to do anything but take away from all the good that we just accomplished.
Yeah.
So
End on a good note.
Tough for a lot of people. I'll just wait. More than likely tomorrow it won't be an issue. But if it is, and I see it's become a little bit of a problem, then I'll let him deal with that all on his own without me there. Then I get to be the good guy again instead of spend 25 minutes in here kicking and pulling and screaming at him and getting mad. I'll just let him figure it out himself without me there. And then I get to be the good guy and release him. The other thing that I see a lot of people do when they're riding horses like him is when he kicks, they pull and pull him up, which is a bit the wrong thing to do because I just sent him forward, so now he's like, wait, do I go forward or do I come back, or what am I supposed to do? And that's why, with the way that we do it, like I said, we got some stuff accomplished. We were able to discipline him for what he was doing, and he understood it all. You know, it wasn't like, okay, so he kicks and now I pull back. And then he's like, wait, is it go or is it stop? Which one is it? So go.
Or if I kick out, he'll let me stop.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's another thing with him, too. You got to watch what you teach him because he's liable to be the one that
Yeah.
that kicks and then goes
Yeah.
and smiles about it while he's standing there.
Yeah, he would do that.
So, you know, you always, it's always, you got to pay attention to stuff like that with a horse like him. We'll never have to worry about him not being bright enough for anything. We'll have to maybe worry about him. Some trainers would say he's too smart, probably. That just means we got to smart, not this horse.
Yep. That's what I like about the cow horses. They usually have some brains.
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely. And that's one of the things that I love about doing cow horse stuff is in reining, which I do love, it's you and that horse. And you get to set the horse up, and it's a beautiful, when it works, it's a beautiful partnership. But in this, you get to set the horse up, but then he has equal or more responsibility than you. You get to give it back to him, so you get to do all that work, and then he really gets to shine. You know, that cow horse really gets to shine. Versus, you know, in the reining, you take a lot of that, you know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
Whereas in the cow horse, he gets to be gets to set.
So one of these days, maybe.